Hello, I am Daniel Ramos, and this is going to be my video blog for our class. Today, I'm reviewing Kevin Lawrence from 2011 Capella University dissertation. The name is Impact of Open Enrollment and Daily Commute of College Student Rotation. I will focus today especially on the quantitative side of this study, what the survey data actually showed. So, Lawrence's study looked at a non-traditional student at a private for-profit open enrollment college, all of whom commuted daily rather than living on campus. The central question was whether the college open enrollment policy and the daily commute itself were pushing students toward living before finishing their degree. This was actually a replication of earlier research adapted to a commuter for profit settings. Two research questions guided the study. First, to what extent do these students entertain thoughts of living, talk to others about living, or actually take steps to live? And second, why? What is driving those thoughts and actions? The quantitative survey mainly speaks to the first question, to extent, while the interviews dug into the why. The quantitative portion surveyed 50 students using an 18-item Likert scale, questionnaire, agree, disagree, neutral, and so on. The sample was 54% female, closely split by year in school, though weighted toward first year students, mostly single, and about 62% unemployed. The survey grouped its questions into three areas: enrollment factors, commuting factors, and personal or cultural factors. On enrollment, the numbers were mostly positive. 66% of students said that they liked the college enrollment requirement, and another 66% found the enrollment process itself amenable. 56% said the enrollment policy actually helped them decide to enroll in the first place. Only two of the 50 felt academically unprepared. So, enrollment policy was not about showing up as a pain point. Commuting told a similar story. Half of the students said that they generally enjoyed their daily commute, and 52% said that they did not feel they were wasting time traveling. Only 26% reported being late to class because of transportation. So, on paper, the daily commute wasn't the disruptive force you might expect. Though it is worth nothing, 38% still wished they could live in on-campus housing. This is where the things get more interesting. 60% of the students said they could comfortably manage their parenting and school responsibilities together, and 64% agreed they needed to stay in college to get a good job. Only 14% cited a lack of funds as a barrier. But underneath these fairly reassuring numbers, family and domestic pressures start to surface as the more consistent theme. When DeLorean compared the survey data to the interviews, an interesting gap appeared. Quantitatively, 56% felt good about enrollment and only 26% blamed commuting for lateness. But qualitatively, 100% of interviewers said they'd recommend to college, while 75% of them described real commuting challenges, and family obligations came up repeatedly as the top reason for wanting to leave. The numbers and the interviews don't fully agree, and that gap matters. So, what actually drove students to our talk or step to leave, not the enrollment policy, not really the daily commute either. At least, based on the number, it was family and domestic life, needing to be closer to home, managing full time work, motherhood, that show up as the most significant factor across both the quantitative and the qualitative data. That's the quantitative side of Lawrence's study in a nutshell. Solid, mostly positive numbers on enrollment and commuting, but family and domestic responsibilities standing out as the real retention risk.